Hi guys, welcome to my channel Selenium Tech Automation. In this video, we will discuss about a few core Java interview questions where an automation tester can expect. Okay, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and also please drop a like for this video and don't forget to watch this video till the end, and also please share all our videos to your friends or colleagues so that they will also learn. At the same time, our video will recommend for more people. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first question here is difference between assert and verify commands. Okay, so there I have added one or two Selenium related questions also, but again I thought like better to go with only core Java interview questions. Okay, no problem. So here, what is the difference between assert and verify commands? So it is coming from our Selenium concept. Okay, and also the next question here is write sudo code for Chrome browser as well as for Edge browser, as well as for IE browser, as well as for Firefox browser. Okay, the second question here is write sudo code for Chrome browser, Edge browser, IE browser and Firefox browser. So here sudo code is nothing but where we are defining our driver file, that is system.setProperty of webdriver.chrome.driver comma in two double quotes we are going to mention our driver path. Okay, so likewise you can write it for Edge browser as well as for IE browser as well as for Firefox browser. So then coming to the next question, that is different methods to refresh a web page in Webdriver. Okay, as we know already, there is a method called as which one? There is a method called as driver.navigate.refresh, and also we can simulate this refresh action with the help of keys as well. So there is one key in our laptop keyboard or your CPU keyboard. Okay, so there we have one key that is called as F5. With the help of F5 pressing, our web page will get refresh, right? So we can do that one. And also there is one more scenario question, that is consider there are 50 test cases in testng.xml file, so which are executing through batch run. Okay, all these 50 test cases are executing at suit level with the concept of testng.xml file. Okay, out of 50 test cases, there is one test case is getting failed. Okay, so during this time I don't want to execute my scripts for remaining test cases. Okay, sorry, I don't want to continue my execution for remaining test cases. So in this scenario, how we can stop our execution and come out from that particular execution? Okay, this is also one type of real-time scenario question. And also, what are the different methods to refresh a web page in Webdriver? Okay, I have already discussed about this question. So then going to the next question, that is why Java does not support multiple inheritance. Okay, why Java does not support multiple inheritance through class? So we need to explain in clear way why Java is not supporting multiple inheritance through class. Because so as we know already, with the help of inheritance concept we can access one class information to the another classes, right? So if I consider here multiple inheritance means, so one class can inherit more than one base class, that is called as multiple inheritance. Okay, so here my child class is, for example, class C. This child class is acquiring the properties from two base classes, that is class A and class B, where class A is having one method and where class B is having one method. Okay, my class C is going to inherit more than one base class, that is class A and class B methods. Okay, in this scenario, I have a method present in class A and also I have a method present in class B, right? In this scenario, which class information will be invoked, either class A or class B? Okay, during this time for class C it will get some confusion for which class methods I can able to access, whether it is from class A method 1 or class B method 1. Okay, for JVM there is some confusion. For this reason only Java does not support multiple inheritance at class level. We have to explain everything in a clear way. Okay, so if there are two classes, these two classes are acquiring by one base class, that is called as class C. So while accessing the class information, that is methods, class A method name 1 and class B method name B. So during this time Java virtual machine will get some confusion on which method I am going to access. So during this time it is not possible at class level. Okay, this multiple inheritance is not possible at class level. And then what is our next question? Write a reusable method where to automate the future dates and previous dates, and I am storing all these dates in .xlsx file to enter into my application. Okay, for example, so if I created any application, for example, if you can take any renewing your license. Okay, so if you renewed your license means, so there it will give you some period of time. Okay, this license is going to be valid for these many years. For example, this year 2022, if I go and renew my license, so they will give me mostly for example 5 years they have provided. Okay, that is 2027 for example. So in this time I want to calculate, okay, how I can create a method so where it is telling me what exactly the date is in future, on which year which date. In the same way, if you consider past 5 years, I want to fetch the date. So how we can automate this scenario? So these details I am storing into one XLSX document. So from this XLSX document only I am going to renewing my license. Okay, so and also it is giving me the up to which date your license is a valid one. So I need to automate this scenario as well. Means future dates and past dates I am storing into XLSX document. I want to read this data and I need to enter into my application. So if that is the case, how we can create a reusable method in that case, because the date is not a constant at all. If I execute my script on tomorrow, again the future date will become changed, right? If I mention the constant date, okay, if I mention some constant date means if I execute on tomorrow my script is not going to work. So that's the reason why I need to use like today plus how many days, today minus how many days. In that case I want to automate my application. And also here, what is throwable class here? Okay, what is throwable class here? So this is also one more important interview question if you are attending for any automation testing interview. So here, by using of throwable class we can achieve, we can achieve that we can easily find out the exception name, and also we can easily find out the exception location, and also we can easily find out the exception description. Okay, so here throwable class is a super class for both exception and error. And also here super class of Java is object, right? Super class of Java is object, and throwable is a super class for both the exception and error. And also by using of throwable class I can able to find out the exception name what I am getting, and the exception location and exception description as well. Okay, so we need to explain in such a way that where that interviewer is going to be satisfied with your answer. And then the next question here is, what are the different types of exceptions and how we can handle this? Okay, and how we can handle these exceptions. So first of all, what is an exception here? It is an unexpected event which will occur during the execution of a program that will interrupt the normal flow of the program. That is called as an exception, right? So this exception must be handled properly. Okay, if we don't handle it properly, then program will terminate unexpectedly, right? So we have to explain each and everything in a clear way, starting with exception and what is called as an exception, and if we don't handle it properly, what is going to happen. Okay, if I want to handle this exception, so what is the mechanism there? Okay, that is called as exception handling. Okay, to handle the runtime exceptions, okay, to handle the runtime exceptions, there is one mechanism is provided in Java, that is called as exception handling. Okay, so here an exception can occur during runtime and also can occur during compile time as well. So that's why we have different types of exceptions here, that is checked exception or compile time exception or called exception, and also we have one more exception, that is unchecked exception, runtime exception and uncalled exception, right? So we need to provide all the examples for each and every exception. Like there are two types of exceptions, that is checked exception and unchecked exception, compile time exception and runtime exception, and called exception and uncalled exception. So we have to provide one example. Okay, then we are going to explain about how we can handle the exceptions, right? So we can handle checked and unchecked exception by using of try, catch and finally blocks. Okay, with the help of try, catch and finally we can easily handle the exceptions, right? So then what is the next one? How to create an object in constructors. Actually in constructors it is not possible to create an object, but we can initialize an object here, right? But we can initialize an object. And also he will ask you like types of constructors. So during that time there was no confusion, because we have two types of constructor here. Okay, we have two types of constructors, that is named approach and nameless approach. Okay, so we can define our constructor with two types, that is named approach and nameless approach. Okay, so and also we can explain about constructor overloading. Okay, constructor overloading or not, he will ask you that question as well. And also we have one more, I mean so many questions which will related to constructor, or else he will directly ask you about tell me about something, tell me something about constructors. So we have to explain everything, like constructor won't create any object, rather than it will initialize the object only. And also it is a special type of method, we can mention constructor as it is a special type of method. Okay, at the time of object creation, constructor is going to be executed. There are two types of constructors, that is default and parameterized constructor. So we need to tell everything if he asked about what is a constructor and remaining. And also constructor overloading concept is there, we need to explain each and everything in a clear way. Okay, so then constructor can access static information or not, so we need to explain that one as well. Okay, constructor can access static information or not. If you know the answer, please let me know from the comment section. Okay, if you know the answer for this one, constructor can access the static information or not, you can ping me in the comment section. Okay, then moving to the next question, you can just google it, whatever the questions I am not revealing here, you can just go and search in Google. Then the next question here is whoops concepts you have used in your framework. Okay, for this particular question I have already made one dedicated video. If you want, you can check that video as well, where I have discussed about interface abstraction, where I have used, and also where I have used polymorphism, where I have used inheritance. So these and all concepts I have already discussed, and I have already made one dedicated video about this particular question, that is oops concept you have used in your framework. Then the programmatical questions, that is find out the largest and smallest number in an array. Okay, he will give you some array, so in that particular given array he is going to ask you to find what is the largest and smallest number in that particular array. So then write a program to print duplicate characters in a string and also get the count. Okay, duplicate characters. For example, there is Selenium tech automation, right? So inside this particular string there are 2 or 4 duplicate characters are there. At the same time he is asking me to print how many characters which are duplicated, and also find out the duplicate elements in an array, that is the first array and that is the second array. Okay, that is this is the first array and this is the second array. He wants me to find out the duplicate elements in a given array, right? So then he will ask you about complete string concept. Okay, he will ask you about complete string concept. Okay, complete string concepts he can ask you. So how we can like what is a string and how we can create a string, and what are all the different methods we have inside our string. So we need to prepare very well about this particular question. And what is the requirement to provide string in main method. Okay, what is the requirement? If you observe, for each and every main method we are mentioning that public static void main and string comma args. So what is the requirement to provide string in the main method? Okay, so that is also one type of interview question, so please check out that interview question as well if you don't know. Okay, please go through everything. So what I am discussing currently, so where I am not providing full details, you can just go and search in Google. Okay, so here why we are not providing, why we are providing string in main method means only string can able to represent any type of data type, right? Only string can represent any any type of data type. For example, if I want like int I equals to 10, j equals to 20, k equals to 3, 30, only array can store only array can store more than one value. That is the reason we are passing here string. Okay, so then why only public access modifier in main method? Okay, instead of using a protected or private or default, any type of access modifiers we have, right? So that many types of we have, that is protected, default, and public, private. So among all these access modifiers, why we are using only public access modifier in our main method? Okay, the reason why we are using means public access modifier can access anywhere to access the main method by Java virtual machine. Okay, main method scope must be available to the JVM. Okay, it is public, right? It is public for calling JVM from anywhere. That is the reason why we are declaring public access modifier in main method syntax. Okay, that scope must be available to the JVM, right? It is public for calling the JVM from anywhere. That is the reason we are declaring public access modifier in main method syntax, right? We can access it from anywhere, but the scope must be visible to the main Java virtual machine. Okay, so then moving to the next question, that is why we are not creating an object for static method. Okay, why we are not creating an object for static method? This is also one important question. Why we are not creating an object for static method? Okay, here in JVM, okay, for this the answer here is in Java virtual machine already we have some memory. That memory is called as non-heap memory area, right? So whenever we are going to provide the static keyword, okay, whenever we are going to create, whenever we are going to provide the static keyword, automatically that data is going to be stored into non-heap memory area, right? In Java virtual machine already we have one memory that is called as non-heap memory area. Okay, whenever we are going to provide this static keyword, automatically the data is going to store it into non-heap memory area. So when it is going to be stored into non-heap memory area means at the time of class loading the complete information is going to be stored, right? At the time of class loading the complete information is going to store it into the non-heap memory area. And also the static variable and static method gets memory only once in a class area at the time of class loading. Okay, these static variables and static methods will get when only the class is going to be loaded, means at the time of class loading only these methods are getting some memory, that is static variables or static method. But if you go to the non-static keywords or methods, sorry, non-static method means at the time of creation of objects only that complete data is going to store it into heap memory area. For non-static methods at the time of creation of object only that complete data is going to be stored into heap memory area. But whereas if we come to static method means whenever we are going to provide the static keyword, automatically that data is going to be stored into the non-heap memory area at the time of class loading. Okay, so then how you can access data from one class to another class in static and non-static methods? Okay, how you can access data from one class to another class? Okay, so this is also one important question. So for non-static, by using of object creation we can access. Okay, for non-static methods by using of objects creation we can access it, whereas if it comes to static methods means by using of class name only we can access it. Okay, how can you access data from one class to another class in static and non-static methods means in static methods by using of class names we can access it. At the same time in for non-static methods by using of object creations only we are going to access the data from one class to another class. Okay, and also he will ask you about reverse a string without using any string built-in methods, such as string reverse method is there without using any string buffer and string builder classes. So we can reverse a string with the help of for loop. And also you can expect one more interview question, that is called as string is palindrome or not. Okay, string is palindrome or not, he will ask you. And going to the next slide, Okay, so here dynamically taking string from keyboard and reversing. Okay, dynamically means if I entered some input from my keyboard, so automatically our script is going to be reverse the given string. Whatever we are typing from keyboard, that string must and should be reversed. So how we can do? With the help of scanner class concept, right? With the help of scanner class concept, we can able to reverse this particular string, right? So here what is a scanner class means, at the time of designing we are going to provide the input values, that is called as static input, right? That is called as static input. But reading the input values from the user, which means keyboard, that is called as dynamic input. Okay, for this in Java we are using one class that is called as scanner class. We can reverse a string by providing some dynamic input from keyboard with the help of scanner class, okay, concepts. So then here you can see, write a program to find out how many vowels or how many digits and white spaces are present in the given string. For example, I have given you one string that is welcome to Selenium Tech Automation Part 1 time 022 year 1991. So from this given string, okay, from this given string I want to find out how many vowels are there and how many white spaces are there in between these characters, and also I want to count how many digits are available or present inside this particular given string. Okay, so these are all very important questions if you are attending for interviews. And then what is our next question? What is this keyword here? Okay, what is this keyword? Okay, what is this keyword means, okay, I want to execute for example, if interviewer will ask you like what is called as this keyword means, for example, if I want to execute my current class instance variable information, for this reason only we are going to use this keyword. So when we will use this keyword means, I want to execute current class instance variable, okay, current class instance variable information, for this reason only we are using this keyword. Okay, this keyword is used to refer current class instance variable information. Okay, why we are using this keyword means, it is used to refer the current class instance variable information. Scope of this keyword is always current class only, right? Scope of this keyword is always the current class. This keyword is used to refer the current class instance variable information. Scope of this keyword always on the current class only, right? So if I want to execute the current class instance variable information, we are going to use this keyword. This keyword is used to refer the current class instance variable information. The scope of this keyword is must and should be always on the current class only. Okay, then you can provide some small example. Okay, so that is about this keyword. Then what is super keyword here? Okay, it is also one important question, that is what is a super keyword. Okay, so it is a reference variable that is used to, okay, it is a reference variable. Super code, I mean super keyword is a reference variable that is used to refer present class object. Okay, super keyword here, it is a reference variable, and this, I mean this super keyword is used to refer the present class object, okay, which will represent the present class object, means parent class object. Okay, so the scope of the super keyword is outside of the class, but this keyword scope is current class only. But if you come to super keyword means, the scope of super keyword is outside of the class, means accessing the super class members such as members or variables and some constructors or some super constructors also we can access. Okay, super keyword means it is a reference variable that is used to refer the parent class object. At the same time, scope of super keyword is outside of the class, means accessing the super class members, which is parent class members. Okay, here members are variables, and also there are some super constructors as well. Okay, that is about super keyword. Okay, that is about super keyword. Then what is wrapper class here? Okay, it is also one more important interview question, that is called as what is wrapper class. Okay, in Java we have some primitive data types, that is int, short, byte, So likewise, right? So these are all passed by values and not by references, right? So these data types are passed by values only, not with the references. So whenever we are going to create any object, by using of that reference only, we are passing the values, correct? Whenever we are going to create any object, by using of that particular reference variable only, we are going to pass the values, if you remember. Okay, you can convert, okay, we can convert these primitive data types into objects, that is called as wrapper class. Okay, you can convert these primitive data types into an object, that concept is called as wrapper class. Okay, wrapper class are used to convert any data type into object. Okay, wrapper class are used to convert any data type into object. Okay, I mean, if you want to convert from primitive data type to any object, means there are some more concepts are there, that is auto boxing and unboxing, and there are some list of wrapper classes as well. Okay, so how we can convert from primitive data type into object data type means the help of auto boxing and unboxing. Auto boxing means primitive data type into object, unboxing means object into primitive data type. Okay, that is about wrapper class, we need to explain everything. Okay, so then moving to the what is next one, for each loop, right? So the next concept here is for each loop. What is for each loop here? I mean, for each loop is also called as advanced loop. Okay, remember this point what I am telling. For each loop is also called as which one? For each loop is also called as advanced loop or enhanced loop. Okay, and you can provide some syntax about what is for each loop, and I mean, what else we can call this as for each loop, other names of for each loop, that is called as enhanced loop or advanced loop are also called as for each loop, right? So these are the two different names for each loop, and also with the help of this for each loop we can traverse, means forward, moving forward as well as moving backward. The advantage of this for each loop is it will eliminates the possibility of programming errors and make the code more readable. Okay, for each loop is also called as advanced loop or enhanced loop. For each loop is mainly used to traverse of array or collection of elements. Here traverse means moving forward and moving backward. At the same time, the advantage of for each loop here is it is used to eliminate the possibility of programming errors and make our code more readable. That is about for each loop. Then you can expect one more question, that is difference between final and finally and finalize. Okay, so you can expect one more question about this one, that is difference between difference between final, finally and finalize. Okay, so then what is the difference between equals and the next one? Okay, difference between equals method and equals operator. Okay, if I want to compare two strings, we can compare the given two strings in two ways, by using of equals method and also using of equals operator. In the equal method, okay, whatever the method we have, right, equals method, we have equals or equals ignore case. This equals method will compare with the help of another object. Okay, it will compare to the another object, right? It will compare to the another object. Okay, it is mainly used for to compare the two strings. Okay, we can compare Java string in two ways, by using of equals method and by using of equals operator. In the help of equals, if you are using equals method, if you are using means we can compare the help of another object, and also equals ignore case method we have, mainly it is for comparing the two strings only. Okay, that is about difference between double equals to and equals method. And then the next question here is write a program to print all the tables at a time. Okay, how we can print all the tables means from starting first table to 20 tables, if interviewer want to print, means how you can write a program for that one. And also there will be some question about write a program for Fibonacci series, as well as they will ask you some program from star patterns to print star patterns and scanner class. okay, and what is a scanner class here. Okay, you can also search for that one, what is a scanner class and what are the different methods are there, scanner.in, scanner.out, you can refer in Google. Okay, so then the last one here is access modifiers. Okay, then the last question here is access modifiers and what types of access modifiers we have and what are all the you can explain in theoretical way, and also you can draw some diagram if he asked about access modifier. Means what is access modifier means which is used to set the access levels for classes, variables, methods or constructors. And also we have four types of access modifiers here: private access modifier, default access modifier, public access modifier and protected access modifier. And then you can explain about each and every modifier in detail until he is going to tell you stop. Okay, so that's all from my end so far. Okay, so you can consider this as part 01. If you like this video, please drop a like, and also please subscribe to my channel if you are new to my channel, and also please share my videos to your friends or colleagues so that they will also learn. At the same time, our videos will recommend for more people, okay, from YouTube point of view. And also I would like to thankful for each and everyone who supported till now, and also I am hoping the same you will support in our upcoming videos as well. Okay, thank you so much guys. Until then, take care everyone, have a nice day. Signing off, Selenium Tech Automation. We will connect with our upcoming videos. Thank you.